But we as a continent have now defined ourselves.
In the news, Odumakin demise. He was a man of conviction, Buhari mourns. And Plateau House of Reps member dies in auto crash. COVID-19 travel ban, Kenya added to the UK red list. Court US lifts Trump's sanctions on ICC prosecutor. OPEC and allies agree to boost output. And in sports, Manchester says no space for Iheanacho, Sergio and Gabriel in squad. Details shortly. This is TS Television, your digital first Pan-African News Network. I'm Osanze Isesele, and this is TS News 360. The spokesman for the Pan-Yoruba group, Afenifere, Yinka Odumakin, has died from COVID-19 complications. Odumakin died at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital Isolation Center. His wife, Jo Oke Odumakin, confirmed this to newsmen on Saturday. According to Mrs. Odumakin, her husband was recovering from the disease, but shockingly died on Saturday morning, noting that a part of her is gone. President Muhammadu Buhari on Saturday mourned the demise of Afenifere spokesman Yinka Odumakin, describing him as a man of conviction. Buhari's position was contained in a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina. In the statement, President Buhari condoled with the family, friends, and acquaintances of the Pan-Yoruba movement spokesman on Odumakin, who served as a spokesman when he contested the 2011 presidential election on the platform of Congress for Progressive Change. The president recalls Odumakin as dutiful and a person of conviction, expressing sorrow at his demise when he had a lot more to contribute to society and the nation at large. President Buhari praised God to grant repose to the soul of the departed activist and comfort all those who mourn him, the statement read. The member representing Plateau Jos North/Basa constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Haruna Maitala, is dead. Maitala died on Friday in an auto crash around 2 p.m. along Abuja-Jos Road. It was gathered that the rep member was on his way to Jos for his first son's wedding on Saturday. The federal government has tasked farmers in the southwest of Nigeria to adopt planting of orange-fleshed sweet potato to further promote wealth and serve health benefit in the region. Government made the call through the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development during a stakeholder meeting at the GMT Hall in Osogbo, the state capital, to sensitize farmers about the potato value chain. The Director of Federal Department of Agriculture, Karima Bambagida, explained that considering the benefits of orange-fleshed sweet potato, the ministry resolved to explore the opportunities to achieve food, nutrition, and security. The Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, has threatened to invoke some labour laws against the striking resident doctors if they refuse to end their strike. He said he would invite them back for a negotiation on Tuesday, but if they remain adamant after that, the no work, no pay rule can be engaged. Recall that resident doctors across the country embarked on an indefinite strike on Thursday, despite an earlier meeting with the federal government. Most Nigerians are anxious following unsubstantiated video evidence by Boko Haram showing how it shot down the Nigerian Air Force fighter jet that crashed in Borno State on Wednesday. The anxiety was heightened by the failure of the military authorities to locate the so-called true crash site 48 hours after the incident. The Alpha Light attack jet was on a mission to support troops fighting the terrorists in northeastern Borno State when it lost radar contact. The Ijaw Youth Council, IYC Worldwide, has condemned the bloody conflict that has claimed 4 lives in Bilabiri in a Kerumo local government area in Bayelsa. The council said a proposed security contract triggered disagreements that led to the communal clash. The IYC, in a statement by its president, Peter Timothy Igbifa, on Friday, appealed to the warning parties to sheath their swords, saying it was irresponsible for brothers to pick arms against themselves. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TS Television. You're watching TS News 360. Stories from across Africa after the break. Welcome back. It's Stories from Africa. Kenya has been added to UK's red list. Amongst other things, the Transportation Department says the measure is to protect the country against new variants of coronavirus at a critical time of the vaccine program. The travel ban takes effect from 4 a.m. Friday 9th. International visitors who have departed from or transited Kenya in the previous 10 days will be refused entry into England. Only British and Irish citizens or those with resident rights in the UK, including long-term visa holders, will be allowed to enter, and they must stay in a government-approved quarantine facility for 10 days, the Transport Department said. The G7 foreign ministers of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America, and the High Representative of the European Union in a statement on Friday said they are strongly concerned about recent reports on human rights violations and abuses and violations of international humanitarian law in Tigray, Ethiopia. They condemned the killing of civilians, sexual and gender-based violence, indiscriminate shelling, and the forced displacement of residents of Tigray and Eritrean refugees. There was a call on all parties to exercise utmost restraint, ensure the protection of civilians, and respect human rights and international law, provide immediate, unhindered humanitarian access. The United Nations mission in Mali on Friday said 4 United Nations peacekeepers were killed in an attack by jihadists on their camp in Aguelhok in northern Mali. The UN mission said that the attackers suffered heavy losses and had abandoned several of their dead at the site of the attack. Also, helicopters were dispatched to the scene to evacuate the wounded from the camp, which houses mostly Chadian peacekeepers. Around 20 of 100 attackers were killed in the assault, which lasted around 3 hours, a UN spokesperson said. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, and the new Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament, Albert Bagbin, have agreed to strengthen parliamentary relations in a bid to find lasting solution to challenges such as the trade disputes between some Nigerian traders in Ghana and the country's authorities. The two speakers met virtually via Zoom on Friday, according to a statement issued by Gbajabiamila's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Lanre Lasisi. The statement was titled, Gbajabiamila, Ghana's new speaker, seek improved parliamentary relations, African speakers to meet in Nigeria this year. Moving on to the international scene, the United States on Friday lifted sanctions imposed by former President Donald Trump on officials of the International Criminal Court who are investigating the U.S. and Israel for war crimes in Afghanistan and Palestine. The executive action by President Joe Biden reverses one of the prior administration's more aggressive moves to target international institutions, although Biden administration officials said the U.S. still objects to the ICC assertion of jurisdiction over the U.S. You are still watching TS Television News 360. More stories after the break. Welcome back, and thanks so much for staying with us. At least 51 people have been killed and more than 100 injured after a packed express train collided with the truck and derailed in a tunnel in eastern Taiwan, according to authorities. The 8-carriage train on its way from Taipei to Taitung came off the tracks at 9:28 a.m. 01:28 GMT on Friday in a tunnel north of Hualien, according to the Taiwan Railways Administration. The president of Argentina, Alberto Fernandez, who has been vaccinated against COVID-19 on Friday, announced that he has tested positive for the virus. According to the president, at the end of today, after presenting a fever of 37.3 and a slight headache, I performed an antigen test, which was positive, he tweeted, adding he was waiting for the results of a PCR test to confirm the diagnosis. Fernandez, who marked his 62nd birthday on Friday, was in isolation as a precaution, but said he was physically well. Iran is reportedly facing a fourth major wave of COVID-19 infections shortly after millions traveled during the Persian New Year holidays. Two of Iran's 32 provinces, Alborz close to capital Tehran and Ilam to the west of the country, have been confirmed by the country's health ministry to be facing the fourth wave. 7 more, including Tehran, are on the verge, it said. According to the Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, the country might face the wave in other provinces if necessary considerations are not put in place. Moving on to business, the OPEC oil cartel and allied countries said they have decided to gradually add back some 2 million barrels per barrel per day of oil production from May to July, moving cautiously in pace with the recovery of the global economy from the COVID-19 pandemic. The group is restoring production that was slashed last year to support prices as demand sagged during the worst of the pandemic recession, which sapped demand for fuel. The group will add back 350,000 barrels per day in May, 350,000 in June, and 400,000 in July. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia will over the same period restore an additional 1 million barrels per day in cuts that it made on its own. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, expects an investment of about $8.7 billion to flow in during the rehabilitation of the Warri Refinery and Petrochemical Company, the Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemical Company, as well as the revamping of some of its 5,000-kilometer pipelines throughout the country. In a virtual representation titled Accessing Energy Infrastructure Opportunities at the NNPC, an event hosted by the United States Department of Commerce, the group managing director of the NNPC, Malam Mil Kyari, insisted that the corporation remained a destination of choice for investors globally. The NNPC GMD said the national oil company would require between $4.5 billion and $4.7 billion investment for the rehabilitation of the refineries in Warri and Kaduna, and urged investors to take advantage of the window offered by the corporation. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has approved the appointment of the chief executive officers of the demutualized exchange and their operating subsidiaries. The approved appointments are those of Mr. Oscar Oyema as the Group Chief Executive Officer, NGX Group, Temi Popula as the Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Exchange Limited, and Tinuade Awe as the Chief Executive Officer of NGX Regulation Limited. The chairman of the Nigerian Exchange Group, PLC NGX Group, Otumba Abimbola Ogubanjo, made in disclosure in Lagos. Moving on to sports, Arsenal and Liverpool attempts to rebuild some post-international break momentum when they meet. Jurgen Klopp's side have won just 4 of their last 15 league matches, an outstanding figure considering the destructiveness of their title-winning campaign last season. Trying to pinpoint exactly what's going wrong on Messi's side can be linked back to a simple lack of goals, although the roots of their issues run deeper. City boss Pep Guardiola have revealed that he sold Kelechi Iheanacho to Leicester City in 2017 because he could not accommodate the Nigerian as well as Sergio Aguero and Gabriel Jesus in his squad, Saturday Punch reports. Guardiola sold Iheanacho to City in 2017 for €25 million, with an inclusion of a now expired €15 million buyback clause in his deal. The 24-year-old striker, who is now flourishing with the Foxes after an initial slow start, won the Premier League Player of the Month for March after scoring 5 goals in 3 league outings last month. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African network. For more updates, visit www.tstvnetwork.com. Do follow and like TOS Television Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy my programming on TOS Television Network. I'm Musa Zeh. It's SLA. Thanks for watching.
But we as a continent